Okay, so here is a look at the stats on a completed character, right? So after my gear and everything, the green, the blue basically means I don't have any gear adding to something, and the green means that I have gear adding to it, but it's, that's not super important. You'll notice that my defense is 19, right? So the amount of defense I'm getting from dexterity is actually 0 because my dexterity modifier is 0 because my dexterity is 10. My intelligence is 12, and my intelligence modifier is +1. My charisma is 14, which gives me a +2, and the nice thing about that is that only the main character in this game can persuade other people to do things, so I actually need some charisma. So my dice roll +2, right? The saves down at the bottom, fortitude, reflex, will, that gets added to a dice roll, or I think it gets added to a dice roll, to determine if I get hit or not, or maybe the enemy has to surpass that. But anyway, this gets compared to the enemy's roll to determine how much whether or not I get hit by certain force powers, which are the equivalent of D&D spells. So my wisdom is the stat I use to cast force powers, and so I have a 19 on wisdom, only an 18 on strength. You'll notice that both are a +4. And the reason for that, obviously, is because, it only levels up on odd, on even numbers. My constitution is 13, which gives me a +1. That basically adds 1 extra to the number of HP that I will get per level, and it's also determined on my class. Like, because I'm a guardian, I'm going to get 10 HP and 4 force points each time. Wait a minute, that's not right. I'm a sentinel. Never mind. I get 4 and 6 or something. 4 HP, 6 force powers, something like that. So I was a scout and a sentinel. Yeah, so I'm the middle class for both. And what that should mean is that this looks a lot like 3 and 5 to me, right? 2 and 3? 2 and 3, yeah, so 4 and 6. Here we go. So what's happening is I'm getting 4 vitality and 6 force power per level. And then when I have a wisdom, for instance, when I cast a force power, it rolls whatever dice is there, and then it adds that +4 to it, or in some cases it multiplies times the +4. Same thing with my lightsaber damage. So if we go into my weapons and such, right, this will actually show you that I have between 4 and 22 there, but this +1 through 8 is a 1d8. Basically, I roll a 1 8-sided die to get there. The attack modifier +2 means I roll a d20 and I add 2 to whatever my roll is to be able to hit, and then the enemy has to have a defense of higher than that, right? So the 2 hit thing, the +6 and +0. So my offhand, I don't get to add anything to my d20 roll, but my main hand I get to add +6, which is my strength modifier, which is +4, and the +2 attack modifier built into my lightsaber, right? So, yeah, that's kind of how that works. And then you can look here, 1d10 physical damage. And this critical threat thing means that if I roll a 19 or a 20, then I get a critical damage, which means I get to roll an extra d6, I think. And the fact that that's a times 2 means 18, 19, or 20. So I don't know if that helps at all. Let's see if we can find one that actually lists the correct... No, it doesn't. But either way, this is energy damage of 1d6. I roll a 1 6-sided die, and that's how much energy damage is put there. I have to roll a 20 in order to get a critical in this case. And there's a bunch of different, plus 1s, plus 2s, and they all basically get added to dice rolls. I don't know if this is even helping, but there you go. And there you can see in the bottom my defense is 19. This plus 3 means if I held it in the main hand, I would get a plus 3 attack modifier, which should mean that there's an attack modifier somewhere on it, but that could be... Oh, no, it's because of my proficiencies. So I have proficiencies with a lightsaber or a blaster or all these different things. So you'll see here that I have my strength modifier of plus 4, my attack modifier of plus 2, but the reason that I have a plus 10 to hit should be that I have a master lightsaber proficiency, which is plus 3, and then I have, I don't know, some other proficiency that's one-handed weapons or two-handed weapons or something like that. So, yeah. And this is going to be that same thing. I probably have dueling for plus 1. But anyway, I don't know if that helps, but here is kind of a physical explanation of how this all works. So like the plus 4 to hit, it's going to be roll a d20, I get plus 4. This thing automatically gives me plus 1. My dexterity obviously gives me, so this is a dexterity weapon. My dexterity obviously gives me plus 0, but I have a plus 3 on the use of weapons of this class, which is blaster rifle. So I have 3 blaster rifle. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if that helps, but that's kind of how the stats work, and pictures of the stats working. So I'll try and upload this one as well. We'll see how that goes.